Chapter 1. The Gift of Desire by St. J. On a warm summer night in Laramie, Wyoming, Chad and his younger brother, Felix, lived a life far from the city lights they once knew. Orphaned at a young age, Chad, now 24, and Felix, 20, found solace in the quiet beauty of the wilderness. Their days were filled with a dedicated purpose: preserving the wildlife sanctuary that bordered their home and protecting the creatures within, from poachers who lurked in the shadows, hunting for profit. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Chad began his evening rounds, scanning the forest for any traps left by poachers. It was a routine he'd come to know well. Yet that night, as he walked through the thickening twilight, a strange glimmer caught his eye, casting a soft, otherworldly light deep within the forest. Cautious but curious, Chad crept closer. The light was neither fire nor lantern, but something that shimmered and pulsed. As he approached, he realized the source: a delicate figure, wings like glass, glowing faintly in the darkness, a fairy ensnared in a bear trap. Her wings, though bound, sparkled like captured stardust, illuminating the surrounding trees in an ethereal glow. "Please help me." The fairy's voice was a soft, melodic whisper, carrying a hint of urgency. "If you free me, I will grant you a reward beyond your imagining." Chad's mind raced. He had never believed in fairies or magic, but here it was, real, and asking for his help. "What kind of reward?" he asked, wary yet intrigued. The thought of capturing her and selling her for a fortune briefly crossed his mind, but her gaze held his, steady and pleading. "I am the princess of the Fae," she replied, her voice both enchanting and solemn. "I can bestow upon you a magical gift, one that can fulfill your deepest desires, but only if you choose to help me." Chad weighed his options: wealth and fame, or a mysterious reward that could change his life. After a moment, he crouched down and carefully released the trap, freeing her delicate wings. She hovered before him, her iridescent glow brightening. "Thank you," she said, her voice filled with relief. "For your kindness, I grant you the power to craft desires themselves." With a wave of her hand, a glowing book appeared in midair, bound in leather that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. Alongside it floated a feathered pen, shining with a faint, magical aura. Chad stared, dumbfounded. "What is this? I was expecting, gold, treasure." The fairy laughed, a sound like silver bells in the wind. "This gift is far more valuable. This is the contract of desire. Only you may summon it. With it, you can draft contracts that grant wishes to others. In exchange, they must fulfill a condition you write into the contract. Should they break it, the penalty is grave." Her eyes sparkled with a mischievous light as she continued. "For example, if a wealthy but sickly man begs for healing, you could write that. In return, he must give you half his wealth. Or perhaps you might require his service for life. The choice is yours." Chad's heart raced as he realized the potential. "What's the catch?" "The book holds only 30 pages, she replied, her gaze serious. "Once the pages are filled, the contract's power will vanish. Use it wisely. Write concise contracts or create one versatile enough to fit many requests. But remember, each page is precious." She paused, her tone shifting to something even more solemn. "The first page holds a set of guidelines. These are not mere suggestions, they are binding rules. If you fail to follow them precisely, every contract you make will be voided, and the consequences will fall on you." Chad's eyes flicked to the book's cover, his fingers tracing the edge. The fairy's warning seemed heavy with meaning. "I'll read it carefully," he replied, though his heart raced with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. "Good," she whispered, her expression softening as she released her final caution. "This power is both gift and burden, Chad. May it lead you to the desires you seek." With that, the fairy faded into the night, leaving Chad alone with the mysterious book in hand and the weight of untold possibilities and responsibilities. Stay tuned for Chapter 2, where Chad begins to wield the contract of desire, a gift that could grant his wildest dreams or become his darkest curse.